Welcome to my favorite day of the week. It is Weather Club Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Adam Epstein. Today we're going to discuss how weather affects baseball. If you play baseball, this is right up your alley. And even if you don't, I think you're going to learn a lot from this and take away some really interesting points. The first thing that happens to weather in baseball is, can we play or not? You need to know if there's a thunderstorm around, if conditions are conducive to playing outside. Because you might remember from episode 1 that lighting isn't just hot. It is exceptionally hot. At 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit, it's almost 10 times hotter than the surface of the sun. So we do not want to get caught out in a thunderstorm. When this happens, we have to either cancel or postpone the game to play at another time. And professional organizations like the MLB, they have meteorologists just like me on staff to let them know if today's a safe day to play. And the second thing we're going to talk about today is temperature and trajectory, meaning trajectory of the ball, how far it can go. And this is for all the home run hitters out there. The warmer it is, the better chance you have at hitting a home run. So this graph shows home runs per at-bat by temperature. So the graph on the Y or X-axis, I should say, shows temperature. The further it gets to me, the warmer it is. And on the Y-axis, this shows home run per at-bat. Notice the blue lines going up and up and up. That means the warmer it gets, the more home runs you tend to see. And the reason for that is warm air is less dense than cold air. And when I talk about density, I talk about the amount of air molecules in the air. So if you have more air pressing down on the earth, that's colder temperatures, and that means the ball has to go through more of those molecules and it slows down. But if there are less air molecules around, the ball can go further. So for about every 10 degrees warmer it gets, the ball goes 2.5 feet further. So let's say it's April, 60 degrees outside, the ball goes 320 feet. Now it's August and it's 100 degrees outside, all of a sudden the ball's going 10 feet further. And this could be the difference between a flyout and a home run at Sutter Health Park, with the left field being 330 feet back. So just a few degrees in temperature warmer means that your ball could go out of the park. And when it comes to air density and elevation, this has an even bigger impact. You might be familiar with Coors Field. That's where the Rockies play in Colorado. So the elevation there is 5,211 feet. And compare that with Oracle Park, and that is 15 feet in elevation. So we go further up in elevation and there are less air molecules, the same conditions where you have less air for that ball to travel through compared to Oracle Park, where you have all these air molecules packed together and it's harder for that ball to fly out of the park there. So Coors Field home runs, they are known about in the MLB. All baseball players know that that's a hitter's park because it's so high up. It has the major league record for the amount of home runs in a year. In 1999, there were 303 of them. So the league looked at this and said, okay, maybe it's time to change something. So they implemented a humidor for baseballs. They basically keep the baseballs in a room where they can control the relative humidity and the temperature, and this will soften the baseball so it's not as bouncy. And that will neutralize the elevation effect, because if it's really cold outside and you have very low air density, that ball is very, very bouncy. Think of a sponge. If there's no water in the sponge, you throw it against the wall, it will bounce back. But if you fill that sponge with water, you throw it against the wall, and it's sticking there. So that means that there's more moisture in the air. You can imagine if it's more humid, the ball has more humidity, it'll be softer and it won't bounce as far off the bat. And when it comes to temperature and grip for the pitchers, well, there's good and bad. You have to find the happy medium here. When it's hot and humid, you sweat, you get a bad grip on the ball. And when it's cold, your fingers can go numb, you get a bad grip on the ball too. You might see some wild pitches. And when it comes to clouds in sight, think of you being in the outfield now, playing defense. If it's sunny outside or cloudy outside, what would be easier for you to see? Well, check out this example. Look really quickly and try and spot the baseball. Where is it? Well, on this one, you can spot it right here pretty quickly. This one you might take some time to find it, but there it is because it blends in with the background. So when it's clear outside, when it's sunny, it could be easier for the defense, easier for the outfielders to find the ball. When it comes to wind, it is different for everywhere. So it can either be against the pitcher and for the batter, or for the batter and against the pitcher. Let's take Sutter Health Park, for example. This is the actual orientation of it. So winds are named for the direction they come from. So if you have a southwest wind, that means the wind is coming from the southwest and going towards the northeast. That would be for the batter. However, if you're a pitcher and you want that extra oomph when you're pitching the ball, you want the wind at your back. You want it coming from the northeast for this particular field. Okay? So the ideal home run conditions at Sutter Health Park, this is a little quiz for you. I'm going to ask my friend Pedro. Hey, Pedro.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, he's coming. All right.
I'm coming.
I'm going to ask him to come take this quiz with you and see how well you do. So
All right,
Pedro's making his way
coming.
into the studio. He's rounding third right now, and he's going to make it home. Hello, Pedro.
Hello, kids.
All right, so I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
What are the best conditions for hitting a home run? Because he loves his baseball.
I do love my baseball.
Are you a
now.
Red Sox fan, right?
Watch your mouth. I'm a diehard Yankees fan, and all you kids out there, you get bonus points if you become a Yankees fan. So first thing, temperature.
Hot or cold? What do you think is better?
Oh, it's gonna be hot. Hot temperatures.
Yeah, and do you know why?
Humidity.
Not so much for humidity. We'll get to that, but he is right. Hot temperature. So
All right,
if you
I got
picked
one.
hot, you got it correctly because the air is less dense than cold air.
I knew that.
Next one, humidity. Would you want high or low humidity?
Low.
Why would you want low humidity?
I have no idea.
At this point, he got it kind of right and wrong. So with high humidity, the air actually weighs more, actually weighs less than with low humidity.
Cool.
So when the air weighs less, there's less for that ball to push through.
Resistance.
However, when you have low humidity, the ball's also going to get harder and bouncier. So if you're a batter and you swing at that bouncy ball, it'll shoot off the bat. So for the batters, you actually do like when it's low humidity. Elevation, would you want high or low elevation to hit home run?
Only reason why I know this is because I know Coors Field is a hitter's ballpark and it has high elevation. Pitchers do not want to pitch in Colorado, so I'm going with high.
Exactly. So we're talking about air molecules again. The higher up you are in elevation, the less air molecules for that ball to get through, and the easier it is for that ball to get out of the park. And finally, wind. This one I picked specifically for Sutter Health Park.
Okay.
Southwest or northeast? Would you want the wind at your back or coming at you as a batter?
Well, it depends. Oh, as a batter.
As a batter for a home run.
I guess you want to go northwest. You want the
Well,
wind.
for you specifically, if you're standing
that's
anywhere,
so tough.
would you want the wind coming at you or at
I
your
want
back?
the wind coming at my back. 'Cause
Exactly.
I could hit it. It will help keep that, carry that ball.
That's right.
Pitchers, they want it with their back.
Exactly. So if you're a batter in Sutter Health Park, you want a southwest wind, and that'll give you ideal conditions for hitting a home run. Pedro,
How'd I do?
Not bad. He did great on this quiz. Hope you did pretty well at home too. That's it for the 5th episode of our Weather Club Wednesday. You could catch Pedro and I Monday through Friday mornings, 4:30 to 10 a.m. on Fox 40 News. We'll see you next time.
Go Yankees!